Hi, good afternoon. My name is Marcel Stewart. I'm the outreach coordinator for Suitcase and Point, and I have bunting on my face. What? Oh no, keep it. I like it. I like it. I'm here to introduce this segment this afternoon, which is called Suitcase Sundays. That is, it's a segment of, it's a series of different art creative pieces put together by members of Suitcase and Point's inaugural Nest residency program. So first up, we've got Tethered the Ghost with Ancestral Spark, followed by a incredible kind of improvised story-making piece by Josh Loewen. So stay tuned, have a creative and adventurous afternoon. That's all I got.
Hi, friends.
Hi, everyone.
All right, so we're just going to kick off today our workshop by first taking 2 collective big breaths, because I think we all need it with what's going on in the world right now. So let's just all take a moment, breathe in together. One more big breath. There is change rippling in the world right now.
A change that impacts our work today. It cannot and should not be ignored.
They affect us, the generations after us,
and the work of the BIPOC folks, especially Black folks that came before us. And so if we could take another breath, because that was nice. That was really nice. Just one more. And we want to ask you to think of one thing you're bringing or maybe not bringing into the space today, given what's happening with the world right now. But we want this to be a session of reflection, of celebration of our ancestry, as we've mentioned before. And we're very excited.
Yeah. Also, if you don't have in front of you right now notebook, pen, or a form of like that creative form that we asked you to bring, you could go get it now, and also sticky notes. But yeah, one thing you're bringing and maybe not bringing into the space, if you want to jot it down. We'll give everybody about a minute to do that and just reflect.
Mm-hmm. So just a little bit of housekeeping for this mini workshop. In our 30 minutes together, we want to share a little bit about our show, Healing Thread, and we want to invite you to create with us on the topic of ancestry. For the people that are with us in StreamYard, you can get in touch through the private chat or live comment section on the right of your screen with any questions you might have for us later, or if you'd like to share something with us later. And of course, we'd like to thank everyone tuning into the live streams.
All right, so with those things now written down, we'll just get started. Just real quick, we'll introduce ourselves. My name is Kaylyn Valdez-Scott. I'm a half Filipina, half Scottish actor, born and raised in Scarborough. And I originally moved to St. Catharines to attend Brock University in 2014, graduated 2 years ago. And Healing Thread and Tethered the Ghost, doing this project with Meryl, was the first experience of creating and mounting my own work that really reflected who I am and what I'm passionate about, and bringing my voice into the world the way that I want to. Yeah, that's me.
Yes. My name is Meryl Ochoa. For some reason, I wanted to share my age, so I'm going to do that. I'm 24 years old, and I am a Filipina who immigrated with my family to Canada in 2012. My family lives in Stratford, where I am right now, staying with them. But like Kaylyn, I moved to St. Catharines for school, to attend Brock, and have decided to stay there. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just give you guys a little sneak peek as to why we created Healing Thread, which really prompted us to do this workshop in general. It came out of meeting with a mentor and a friend, Marcel, who works with Suitcase, and he asked us, what would you do if you had free space for a week? What would you create? And Meryl and I came together, never having done a project together before, and we said we would like to talk about our ancestry, which we have not seen represented on stage, not only in St. Catharines, but in Toronto, in other large areas where stories like this should be seen and heard, and other voices. So, and we were scared. We asked, like, can we do that? Is that allowed? And he said, yes, it's your own space, it's your own time. So we took that opportunity to talk about things that were important to us and that we breathe and live and share with the world every day, which unfortunately is not talked about. And I think no matter what culture you come from, you can relate to the topics that we tackle in Healing Thread because they really transcend being Filipina, although they center around that sometimes. But I think it's a great way of connecting with everybody, connecting with BIPOC emerging artists, which we've already had the great pleasure of doing, which leads into our process.
Yes, so it really started with us not having a specific goal in mind. We didn't know that we were going to create Healing Thread right off the bat. We just sort of created and explored mostly how we work with each other. And it was honestly very easy because it started off as us telling stories about our family, about what we already know based on our backgrounds and our lived experiences. And the amount of time we spent telling stories versus actually getting into the creating and the rehearsing was probably equal, if not more. But it just showed how essential it was because it was already within us. We just needed to unpack, to talk about it in a space that we were able to design. Our rehearsal space we were able to design for our own, and we were able to make it as safe as possible for each other, build that trust, and it was really cool. What we shared in our first pass and in our script of Healing Thread wasn't forced at all, but it was what we already knew again. And it was such a fun time, like exploring that, putting them into words, putting them into movement. And it was very rewarding to be able to share that with a few people.
Mm-hmm. So, like we said, what we want to accomplish today is share a little bit of our process of coming to create Healing Thread. And it was essentially a spark that came from our identity, our history, and our relationship with our ancestry. So for this part, we are going to pose some questions that we would like you all to reflect upon. And we will encourage you to write down some notes about your responses. Let's begin.
When you think of ancestry, what are the first things that come to mind? This could be rooted in ancestry, family, traditions, trauma, survival. And you can jot down keywords and phrases that come to your mind.
Now, everybody trust us. If you could close your eyes, everybody close your eyes for a hot second. Imagine that you're in a space that your ancestors are in, or whatever were the things that came to mind when you thought of ancestry. What does that space look like?
What's around you?
What's the temperature?
What do you hear?
What do you smell?
Are you standing, sitting?
Are you inside or outside?
Make it as specific as possible.
Who do you see? Who is there with you?
So in about 10 seconds, we'll all be opening our eyes, but hold on to the images, the feeling, the sounds that you discovered, the people that you saw.
So if everybody could open their eyes now. So specifically for our show, we explored a key question. If you could write a letter to your great-grandparents, what would you ask? For your own ancestry world, if you could write a letter to whoever you saw or whoever you wish you did, what would you say? What would you ask? Write down a few words or thoughts just to prompt you or remind you of your response.
So now we've given you the spark, and now your narrative is your own. If you brought something with you today, your favorite medium of creation, favorite form, please bring it out so that it's in front of you.
And looking back on the little notes that you made answering the prompts from earlier, what are you compelled to create? What are you compelled to pass down through your creative work? What is your love letter to your ancestry, to your culture? And again, it can be anything that you brought with you. So you could do poetry, painting, journaling, a quick sketch, a monologue.
Mm-hmm. So we will be creating for about 8 minutes. There is no pressure for this to come out as a finished product or for this to reach a certain quantifiable amount of work. This is a period for you to explore your spark. And we will give you a time check halfway through and when there's a minute left. And we can all begin now. So this is our halfway 4-minute mark. We'll have about 4 more minutes, and we'll let you know when there's a minute left.
So there's about 1 minute left. And if you could just think of a title and or a word or a phrase to describe your work in progress, just jot it down now. So do we have anyone from our backstage that would like to share a snippet of their work in progress? No pressure at all, again. But if you do want to share, just write in the private chat right now, and we can let you in. There's no pressure though. We know it's a work in progress. Okay, well, I'll share mine. I just wrote a quick, anyways, I won't explain it, but I titled it Transportation. I don't know why, but okay. I laugh at my grandmother's jokes in her language, a language most of my other friends cannot understand. I'm always so curious as to how it would make my heart sing if I could make her laugh the same way, the way it would vibrate through the wrinkles in our smiles. And then I wonder what her smile hides. It's hard not to think about that in our world right now. Is she proud of the world we live in? Does she wish she could feel the humid air soak her skin on the island she grew up on? Is she safe here? Is she safe here? Our skin is different. Is she safe here? So that's what I wrote in the little time. Meryl, do you want to share?
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Kaylyn.
Thank you.
I'll also share what little I wrote. during that time. I wrote down for the title right now, Rise Up. And it goes, for my ancestry, the leaves on my family tree, I will get up, stand up, and fight. For the deep, deep roots and the future fruits, in solidarity with those that here and now cannot be, I will rise up and do what is right. Oh my God.
Thanks, Meryl. Well, if nobody wants to share, which is totally fine, I guess just real quick, so the reason we asked everybody to bring the sticky notes is because we learned this from the Tita Collective, who we had the privilege of mentoring us when we were doing our residency. And they said that when you're in conversation or you're sharing stories with each other, write down words or phrases on your sticky note that inspire you, that remind you of what your goal is. And we loved that, and it really helped us during our residency. And we have a huge board of inspiration that we pull from all the time that really helps us focus on what our work really means to us and what exactly we want to be sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you could take your sticky notes, if you have it, or just any small piece of paper right now, you can write down either the title or brief description that you came up with for your work in progress, a feeling or a memory that came up during your work today, or just something that you're taking away from this short mini session.
So now you have this sticky note as a reminder of the work that you sparked today. And we encourage you, just as we were encouraged, to keep building upon this sticky board.
Mm-hmm. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today. If you're in the backstage of StreamYard, if you're tuning in on the live streams on Facebook and YouTube, we hope that you're able to take away something from here, and that you'll be able to take it further from this point on. So as we did in the self check-in, we just want to invite everyone to a collective breath again.
And everybody, if you could just thank your hearts and your brains for doing that work. It's intense stuff.
Mm-hmm. So thank you so much, Suitcase and Point, for giving us a platform to do this, and everyone who came out today.
And please reach out to us if you have any thoughts, questions, or anything like the work that you want to share that came out of this. Our Instagram is at Tethered The Ghost, and our email is tetheredtheghost@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much, everybody. Bye.
Hello. Another big thank you to Meryl and Kaylyn for sharing that. It was really, really wonderful. Got a lot of notes here. Now, that being said, we're going to try and do something very, very different right now. We're going to write a story, and I need a whole lot of help because all I have right now is this. This is the title page. It says Up a Tree. It's by you and me. So I need some help because I have nothing else figured out for this. And in case anyone was curious, no, I haven't tried this before. So I do need you to actively comment on stuff. I need the comments to be full with lots of ideas for how we're going to write this story. We're going to have a little bit of fun. It's going to be a little bit of a silly story, and the idea is it's going to rhyme. Now, it's the title page. This is a blank page. So now we're going to start the story. So first, what it's called Up a Tree. What kind of a tree? Is this an apple tree? Is this a family tree? What kind of tree are we going up? Does anyone have any suggestions? I'm gonna wait. I will. I need someone to put something up. Pear tree, excellent. Excellent. We're going with a pear tree because I have no idea how to draw a pear. So what kinds of, what do we want to happen in this story? I'm gonna give us a willow tree. I also don't know how to draw that. Maybe we'll do both. Peach, lots of great. Okay, we'll pick the right kind of tree in a second. I think that I'm getting these just a half second late. I'm working with my best internet as best as I can. So what's going to happen in the story? I'm going to give you 2 suggestions, and if you want to throw something else in there, if you can get it in quick, get it in quick. So here's what I'm thinking. Either we're going to have a turtle because I know how to draw that, and another turtle because I know how to draw 2 turtles. And so the 2 turtles are going to be trying to climb a tree because that would be up a tree. Or alternatively, we can have probably a small rabbit because I'm like 60% sure I know how to draw a rabbit, and a kangaroo hanging out in a tree, maybe building a tree fort, some starting spaces. We'll see where things go. I do want your input. So what are you thinking? Oh, it's a chipmunk story? Oh, it might have to be a chipmunk story. In a coconut tree? A party on top of the tree that the turtles are trying to get to. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get started. And we're going to see this page. We can't use it anymore because we're not going up that kind of a tree. We need to go up a coconut tree. So I think a coconut tree looks something like this. It's orange. It's got some big leaves. And it's got some coconuts. I don't know how many coconuts you usually have. So we've got a coconut tree, and it's a rescue mission to save the turtles. Oh, I really like that because I definitely think I know how to draw a turtle. So we're going to put a turtle up into the tree. Okay. So this is our new title page. So new title page, Up a Tree. It's that kind of a tree. Just imagine it. We can all work on this together. So now we've got some turtles. We've got some turtles, and the turtles, they're a little bit of sleepy turtles, right? This is our first turtle. We should give him a name. Does anyone have any good name suggestions for a turtle? And this is our second turtle. Second turtle is a smaller turtle. It's a family of turtles. They're different sizes. So the one on the big one is named Frank. And what's the little turtle? What's the little turtle's name? Gary. So you got Frank and Gary. All right. And let's say that they're just hanging out. So Frank and Gary. And how did they get up the tree? How did Frank and Gary get their way up this tree? Any thoughts? They are pretty close. They are pretty close, but they're turtles, and I don't think turtles can get coronavirus. All right, so they flew up the tree. They flew right up the tree in a hot air balloon. So we definitely, on the list of things I think we need to see, them flying up the tree in a hot air balloon might be right up there. So here we've got a big hot air balloon, right? With a little basket. We've got our turtles. Just and a little one, because they're different sized turtles. And that's perfect. I like that. So here are our little turtles. And they're flying off towards a coconut tree. What are they talking about? What are they talking about in their hot air balloon ride? What are they worried? What are they thinking about? Where are they going? Oh yes. The weather. All right, so I'm gonna make Frank the dad because Sunny and Sun are both kind of the same thing. I'm gonna see how's the focus on this. That's worse for me. They're perfect. Now on my end, that's pretty. Talking about turkeys not being able to fly. I can't spell, friends. Dumb ground birds. This is the way we're going. And we've got some turkeys down here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Does anyone know how to draw a turkey? I think it's like a hand, right? You did like a hand with different colors. I'm really going back to like 4th grade art class where you like traced your hand. And then I think like that. That is a turkey. I didn't promise to be a good artist, okay? I promised to write a story. And I also promised it was going to rhyme. And so now we need to get to that. So, things are falling apart. So now we've got our turkeys. Thank you. I'm so glad that you like the turkey. I'm so glad you like the turkey. Yes. Okay, so now we've got a turkey down here, looking up into the sky. And he's angry. What do turkeys look like? They have a little bit of red. This one does. This one's got a red mohawk. And the turkey sabotaged the hot air balloon, and that is how they crash into the tree. So we got a slingshot with a big red rubber band, because that's the slingshot I had when I was a child. And a little rock. The turkey does need a name. Does anyone have any suggestions? A beak. Turkeys are birds. They have beaks. Thank you so much, Rebecca. But it's an angry beak, so it goes all the way back there. This drawing's getting worse and worse as we keep going. And the bird, right? It's a good close-up of a turkey. All right, the turkey's name is Munster. Or Rhonda? Runster Monda. Monster Runster? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. We're going with Rhonda. Holly has picked Rhonda. We're gonna have to go with Rhonda. I'm just gonna shoot him down. Yep, that's what it's gonna do. And it's gonna call him a mean name. You shouldn't say that to people. You shouldn't call someone a turd, but it's happening. And so I'm gonna label the characters. Because that way you don't forget. Because I know I wouldn't, but this way you'll remember. And so grabbing another piece of paper is harder than I expected. Ron, we got all kinds of rhymes here. We got lots of rhyming options. All right, so now we have our turtles that have crashed into the tree. So we need to see them in the tree, right? They gotta be in the tree next. That's what's gotta happen. So we got the tree coming up here. We got some coconuts. And these are really, really big coconuts or really, really small turtles. I know because the turtles are standing on the coconuts. There's another coconut over here. That's where he's standing. There's a second coconut. Got a little bit of marker on my desk. It's okay. But surprisingly, the turtles, they're still happy. I can tell because this one has a smiling face. So what makes the turtles still happy now that they landed in the tree? When did they landed in the tree? And let's make it something that rhymes with Rhonda. Let's assume that they know Rhonda. They've got a fun relationship. What happened to these turkeys that rhymed with Rhonda? They got a new Honda. All right, they got a new Honda. We're sticking with it. We're sticking with it. That's what Frank says. And Gary responds. And Frank responds again. And then, boom, right back here, both of them. They're really fond of these coconuts. There we go. There we go. Now we know why they're happy. All right, but what happens to Rhonda? Oh, yep. The little turtle needs an ice cream cone just because he's a good turtle, and turtles love ice cream. That is a well-known turtle-based fact, and we are going to. That is what's coming up next. And the turkey's going to bring it to him. The turkey that we drew so well before is going to fly over with its pretty wings that look almost exactly like real turkey wings. I don't know if you've ever seen a turkey. I know that I have not. So this is exactly what it looks like. And it has a beak. And it's got a little mouth. The beak is out, it's got a little eye. And feet is an ice cream cone. With an ice cream cone. What kind of ice cream is it? I'm gonna let that simmer for a second while we decide what kind of ice cream. This turkey can fly. It's a surprise. It's a surprise. It's a twist. It'll come. We're coming back to that in the story. The reason this turkey can fly will be addressed, I promise. We're also pretty much at our 15 minutes, which is perfect. Yes. So we got some cotton candy ice cream. We've got some mint chip ice cream. We've got some tiger stripe ice cream. I don't know, is that mint chip? And then those are the only 3 kinds of ice cream because he's already got 5 scoops of ice cream. Yep, one of those pink ones is strawberry now. It's got some strawberry as well. I am so sorry. I don't know how to draw banana butt ice cream. And then there's some trees up here. There's some tree. He's coming towards the tree. He's not there yet. He's coming up on the tree. He's almost there. Don't want to drop anything. And the turtles are in the tree. They're hiding. And then, next thing you know, bam, new page. What do we have? We've got the small turtle right there with a really, really big grin, because in his hand that comes from his shell, naturally, as all turtle hands do, he's got that nice big ice cream cone with, I'm putting marker lids on the wrong colors. Five layers of ice cream with some stripes and some chips. And he's a happy little turtle. Happy little turtle. What does he call up to Rhonda? What does, I'm gonna bet that this one's name is still Gary. What does Gary have to say to Rhonda? Rhonda's calling down. She's saying, enjoy the ice cream to Gary. And Gary's back up at Rhonda. What's Gary got to say? What's it gonna be? Oh, how did you know it was my birthday, Rhonda? That's good. Ice cream was my dream. And yes, the final statement that comes from Frank, our big turtle. He keeps getting larger. He's got his eyes half closed because he's tired. He's not excited about this, but he's ready to share it. His final statement. We thought Rhonda couldn't fly. But we were wrong. Oh my. Means an I. I just realized that. It also rhymes. Now We're friends. And as the day ends, we'll all eat ice cream. Wow. We dream. And then that is the end. The end. We are done. We're going to read the whole story now, from start to finish. Get it all prepared here. Set it up. Got this side right here. Hope we're all excited to read it. Up a Tree by You and Me. Hey, sunny out, eh, son? Look at those dumb ground birds. I'll shoot you down, ya little turds. Pesky, pesky Rhonda. At least we got that new Honda. And I mean, I am really fond of these coconuts. Enjoy the ice cream. How did you know that it was my birthday and ice cream was my dream? We thought Rhonda couldn't fly, but we were wrong, oh my. Now we're friends, and as the day ends, we'll all eat ice cream while we dream. The end. Thank you all so much for helping me do something thoroughly stupid. I enjoyed this very much. If anyone wants a copy of this book, I am seriously considering publishing it. Please be in touch. I appreciate all of this. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Find a reason to smile, find a reason to laugh, find a reason to tell someone that you love them. That is all that I have to add. Enjoy the rest of your day.
The muted mic. Thanks so much, Josh and Tethered, for this interactive afternoon. To go from ancestry to a story about a turtle named Rhonda who has a Honda and likes coconuts and got ice cream. I mean, that all just speaks to the breadth of creativity that we have going on here at the Nest. So that wraps up week 2 of In the Soil Multiparts. Check in with us on Wednesday at 7. We've got Two Birds, One Stone, which is a fictionalized documentary play about the Palestine and Israeli conflict. And I'm just reminded by the wonderful Holly Hughes out in backstage that we got something going on tomorrow night. So at 7 p.m., we've got the Youth Advisory Committee Showcase. And just a hint, there might be some makeup / cosplay tutorial going on with yours truly becoming a different character. So tune in at 7 for that. And then, as I mentioned, 7 o'clock Wednesday, we've got Two Birds, One Stone, followed by a Q&A, which should be really dope. And then next Sunday, we've got the final week of Suitcase and Sundays. For any story lovers out there, any horror fans or explorers, you'll want to check it in next Sunday, June 7th, 3 o'clock. That's it for me. I appreciated what you said at the very end there, Josh. Find a reason to love someone. I'm a roommate on that today. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays, and I'll see you tomorrow.